everyone, welcome to my channel Microeconomics. In today's video, we are going to explore one of the most fundamental concepts in economics, the different types of market structures. Markets are at the heart of every economy. They are the places, physical or virtual, where buyers and sellers come together to exchange goods, services or resources. But here is the catch. Not all markets work the same way. Depending on how many buyers and sellers there are, the level of competition and the nature of product, markets can look very different. So today, let's break them down one by one. Let's start with perfect competition, which is more of an ideal or theoretical market. In a perfect competition market, there are a large number of buyers and sellers. All products are identical or homogeneous, and no single firm can influence the price. They are all price takers. Firms in this market accept the market price and cannot charge more because buyers can easily switch to a competitor. There is also free exit and entry, perfect information, and no extra cost like advertising. Everyone knows everything. No one has any control over prices. It's rare in the real world, but vegetable vendors and street markets sometimes come close. On the complete opposite end, we have a monopoly. In a monopoly, there is only one seller, and the product they offer has no close substitutes. That means the seller has complete control over price, making them a price maker. Entering this market is difficult because of high barriers like patents, huge capital requirements, or government licenses. A classic example in India is Indian Railway. Next up is the monopolistic competition, a very realistic and common market structure. It combines features of both perfect competition and monopoly. That's why we say monopolistic market equal to perfect competition plus monopoly. Here, there are many sellers, but each one offers a slightly different product. Because of this differentiation, each firm has some control over price. Think of toothpaste brands Colgate, Pepsodent, Sensodyne. All serve the same but look, taste or feel different. There is also advertising cost involved, and firms can enter or exit the market freely. Let's talk about oligopoly now, where only a few large firms control the entire market. But there are many buyers. These firms are interdependent, meaning the action of one firm changing price or launching a new product affects others. Products in an oligopoly can be identical or differentiated. Example, think of the automobile industry, Tata, Hyundai, Maruti Suzuki, or the telecom sector like Jio, Airtel, Vodafone. Now, what if there are only two firms dominating a market? That's a duopoly. In a duopoly, the two firms keep a close watch on each other's pricing and production. There is high interdependence, and entry into the market is tough due to strong competition or brand loyalty. Example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi in some regions, they dominate the soft drink market. Here is an interesting one, the bilateral monopoly. This happens when there is only one seller and one buyer, and both have significant bargaining power. So, instead of prices being fixed by the market, they are negotiated between the two parties. A good example is in the certain government labor markets, where a single labor union negotiates wages with a single employer like a public department. Now, let's reverse the monopoly. A monopsony is where there is only one buyer and many sellers. This gives the buyer strong power to set the terms of purchase. For example, If there is a large factory in a small town and it's the only major employer, then local workers have very few alternatives. The factory becomes a monopoly buyer of labor. Last but not least, we have oligopoly. This is the flip side of oligopoly. In this case, there are few buyers but many sellers. The buyers have strong market power and they can often influence prices. For example, a few major chocolate companies like Nestle or Mars buying cocoa from thousands of small farmers. These buyers influence how much farmers get paid. And that's a wrap on the basic divisions of market structures in economics. Let's quickly recap. Perfect competition means many sellers, identical products, no control over prices. Monopoly, one seller, full control over prices. Monopolistic competition, many sellers with differentiated products. Oligopoly, few big firms, interdependent decisions. Duopoly, exactly two firms. Bilateral monopoly, one buyer and one seller. Monopoly, one buyer, many sellers. Oligopoly, few buyers, many sellers. These structures help us understand how prices are set, but firms behave and how competitive or controlled a market is. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you want me to explain this with real-world case studies or diagrams next time, drop a comment below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.